2022 has already been a great year for gaming, especially for indie games. Although we can still expect some interesting titles before the end of the year, I thought I'd take a look back and make a list out of the best indie games of 2022 that you can play right now. What are your favorite indie games that came out this year? And what are other titles you are looking forward to? Tell me in the comments and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I know, this game isn't even out yet, but you can play the demo on Steam right now. The Night Witch is a metroidvania with 2 unique twists, because this game is a bullet hell, twin-stick shooter, deck building, side-scroller metroidvania. Yeah, I know, sounds wild. And in fact, it is wild. The gameplay is basically set around building a deck of spell cards that you can use in combat. Spells range from simple auto-target arrows and magical bombs to turning your standard attack into a Gatling gun. Gatling gun? In a metroidvania? Yes, you heard right. The Night Witch is a true twin-stick shooter. You aim with your mouse or the right stick of your controller in the direction you want to shoot and blast away your enemies with cute little fireballs. This gameplay can get extremely intense because you can expect some hardcore bullet hell moments. I really enjoyed the demo. Combat felt super fun and I can't wait to spend time building a deck of cool cards. ASTERIGOS follows the trend of the Souls-like genre, but with its own charm and ideas. Instead of a dark and gloomy medieval or sci-fi setting, ASTERIGOS is colorful and definitely a little bit friendlier than other games in this genre. The world is inspired by Greek and Roman mythology, and all that is presented in a cartoon-like art style. But ASTERIGOS not only looks beautiful, it also has a great feel for combat. You can choose between 7 different weapons, of which you can use 2 in battle. Every weapon has a unique special move and feels nice and smooth. Combining weapons and choosing your favorite battle skill already encourages experimentation in the first few minutes of the game, and I love that. ASTERIGOS has its own ideas and tries to shake up the formula a bit, and that's refreshing. For example, dialogue options will have an impact on the story as well as your actions. Killing an NPC, for instance, won't go unnoticed. Yeah, I know, this game looks like a chimera created by Dark Souls, Immortals Fenyx Rising and Kena Bridge of Spirits. But that's only a good thing, right? ASTERIGOS is fun and a refreshing take on the Souls-like genre and definitely an action RPG I enjoy at the moment. Oh boy, is this game a blast. I play quite a few Metroidvanias every year, but it's rare to have one that is so stylish. I mean, look at that. HAAK looks like a comic book as a game and it feels super smooth. In my opinion, movement is one of the most important aspects of a good Metroidvania, and HAAK finds a sweet spot here because movement is already satisfying in the beginning of the game, but as you progress, you get more and more upgrades to further enhance your movement to make it absolutely killer. I know that many other Metroidvanias do the same thing, but HAAK really nails it for me. Level design is also superb and almost feels like it's inspired by Dark Souls because you constantly find shortcuts. Traversing the world in general feels great because of the movement, the shortcuts and a very player-friendly fast travel system. And also the story is surprisingly interesting because this game has some charming characters and a relatively dark post-apocalyptic world with some cyberpunk elements. I was quite invested in the characters, world and story while playing this, so if you look for a unique Metroidvania experience this year, then definitely check out HAAK. It's fast, stylish and most importantly fun. It's one of the best Metroidvanias of the year for sure. Are you exhausted from work? Do you feel like you need a break? Do you feel like you need a vacation but you don't have enough money? Fear not, my friend, forget expensive and long flights to Hawaii or Bali with annoying check-ins and waking up at 4 o'clock to catch your plane. What if I tell you the most relaxing experience of 2022 costs only $20 and is basically in the palm of your hands? Potion Permit is already an underrated gem for me, and it's about an alchemist genius that travels to an island to cure the mayor's daughter and also the rest of the villagers. You do that by collecting plants, wood and rocks from the area next to the village and throwing them into your alchemy pot. Going out and collecting stuff in a cute pixel art world is always a nice thing. Also, you have to take care of your relationships with the other villagers and treat their diseases. And this game is full of charm because the music is just brilliant and many of the tasks you have to complete are packed in a minigame. Brewing your potions is done by doing a simple puzzle. Treating your patients requires you to investigate the different body parts and complete a minigame within the minigame. This whole gameplay loop is super fun and relaxing. Potion Permit is already my space to take some stress away and I love it. No game in this world makes me feel cool playing it, except OLLI World. This is a 3D side-scrolling skateboard game and it's all about getting the highest score in a level. You do that by executing different moves with your skateboard and performing them in a row to a long combo. The premise is as simple as that, but where OLLI truly shines is the gameplay feel. You have a ton of options to choose from which stylish trick you want to flex with, and everything is fun to execute. You can jump, grab your board, turn around, grind on pipes and stuff and do flips and pretty much everything you can do with a real skateboard. Except destroying it maybe. But you wouldn't want to do that, trust me. Although the levels can get quite tough later in the game, I swear I never felt any frustration because this game is designed to kill frustration completely. It does that by simply having practically no load times at all, and every time you fail with a single press of a button you are back on the last checkpoint and try again. This encourages you to get better and better and beat level after level. OLLI World surprised me. It's incredibly fast, feels great, is super fun and never frustrating or feels cheap. If you are looking for a ridiculously stylish skill-based game with absolutely awesome chill music, then OLLI World is your game. There was no metroidvania this year I liked more than ISLETS. It's short, it looks stunning and feels great. ISLETS has a beautiful world which you traverse with fast and fluid movement in cleverly designed levels. And like I already said in this video, movement is super important for me in a metroidvania and ISLETS manages to make this part satisfying and fun on its own. But of course this game has a lot of other things to offer and checks all the boxes for me. Besides the amazing art style and fluid movement, you get a few but really cool abilities like an arrow that creates a cloud you can walk on. Oh, and the bosses surprised me a lot because they are creative and challenging. And it was a lot of fun figuring out the attack patterns of each boss. I think some metroidvanias lack interesting boss fights, but ISLETS delivers in that regard. I also want to mention the beautiful soundtrack and charming characters because both did a lot of world building. I highly recommend playing this game if you are looking for a short game with around 7 to 8 hours playtime. ISLETS is my favorite metroidvania of the year so far. My number one spot of the best indie game of the year takes TUNIC from me. I was already looking forward to this game when it was first announced, but still, this blew my mind more than I expected. TUNIC is often described as a mix of Zelda and Dark Souls. And in many ways it's something like that. The isometric view, the look of the protagonist and some other elements feel a lot like they are inspired by the Zelda games of the NES and SNES era. And also some gameplay choices like losing your money when you die and picking it up where you lost it, or respawning enemies after resting on a bonfire are clearly straight from Dark Souls. But TUNIC is so much more than that. It's about a mystical world that rewards you with smart level design, some clever secrets that you have to discover on your own, and simple but fun combat and boss fights. Exploration is a key part of TUNIC, and honestly I rarely feel so greatly rewarded by a game. When I run around TUNIC's world I find a ton of hidden passages, bunch of items that are always useful and many shortcuts that are already satisfying on their own because combat can get tough sometimes and every shortcut to a bonfire is a relief. Oh, and I can't leave this one out. The music in this game is one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. So if you like exploration and a game that makes you feel smart for figuring out a secret, and music that makes you put the controller away for a while, and an incredibly low poly art style, then maybe you found your next favorite game. TUNIC is one of the best games of 2022 and definitely in my top list of my favorite games of all time. Thanks so much for watching. Did I mention your favorite indie game of 2022? Did I miss a game? Tell me in the comments and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. In my next video I'm taking a closer look at what ASTERIGOS is all about. I feel like this could be the best Souls-like game since Elden Ring was released. Subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss that. Thanks again, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.